I personally know firsthand they have a cheeseburger that's out of this world.
So you're still awaiting up here in the
which I
Dick
just
Hockey
received
Construction broadcast
record
booth.
of, that Beavers at the Dam will be delivering gourmet food as promised to the Dick Hockey Construction booth here at Lake Race. So while we're waiting out this little break on the course, swing into Beavers, have a beverage, have something to eat, and you don't want to leave. The boats that are getting ready to come up are, well, they're the fastest boats in the world. That's just all there is to it. There is nothing else to say. 175, 180 mile an hour speeds easily today here in the Lake Race. And the last visual that we popped up on screen of the course, brought something to my attention that, from our vantage point, we can't see straight up and down the course like we could last year as we were a little closer to Bagnell Dam. But as I look back at what Billy Moff, the line he chose in the Super Cat class, as he swung way wide coming out, that gave him a straight shot and basically avoided that dog leg going down the North Shore, which meant basically they could hold the wheel straight and hold the throttles on the dash the entire way. And I think after about 2 or 3 laps, they got that line more figured out, and that's how that lead expanded a little bit for WHM in your Super Cat class. Now, as we talked about earlier, we have heard, some people are changing props, some people aren't. Don't think for 1 second there is not some possum going on down there on the docks.
Right.
They may have just taken the old props off and then turned around and put them right back on just to get in the heads, if you will, of the other racers and make them think. Now, that being said, Performance Boat Center, Johnny Tomlinson, Myrick Coyle, Brett, Mark, they're not one to be rattled. Reports are coming back. They're not changing anything. They're confident in their abilities and what their boat can do, and they feel, based on what we've seen, they're not changing nothing going into the next race. Billy will have a great time messing with those guys, so he may not have changed anything either, or, again, very likely could have changed something. It'd be very interesting to see what happens in our second heat of Super Cat racing today.
And, again, the winner here of the Super Stocks, the winner is Nick's Creative Marine, and, again, almost, again, by attrition as we see some of the weather rolling in here. Race course is held right now, and I think they held that course, Shane, with a lap still to go. But as it stands right now, Nick's Creative Marine, your winner as the rain begins to fall. Now, for a lot of you folks that aren't down here right now at the Lake of the Ozarks, so many great events coincide with the race itself, and one of those being the paddle battle, and that brought to you by Lake Milu, and it was the first annual event, Shane, and a lot went into it, and this was part of the deal.
Yeah, I unfortunately did not get to make it over there. It was something I was looking forward to. I had another obligation pop up, and I couldn't make it. I do have several friends that competed in it. They said they had a ball, so like most of our lake events, I look for it to only grow over the years.
It unfortunately had to deal with some rain as well over there at Frankie and Louie's. First place prize was awarded. A last place prize was awarded as well. And we had best costume as well. I'm not sure who took best costume there at the paddle battle, the first annual. And again, all the proceeds going to Lake Race Charities, and we want to thank them for being a part of our race for the first time for this event. And it was brought to you by Lake Milu.
I just heard and turned around and looked and seen the WH. There we go. There's the Super Cats making their way back on the course. So it doesn't look like we're going to see a break in the action at all. I'm seeing the MCon construction boat, or the MCon boat, make its way out there. And, unofficially, OPA has awarded Tristan Collins Garvin of MCon Hottest Crew Member Award. So she'll be able to pick that award up tonight at the awards ceremony. So the rest of you race teams want to know how to get a little publicity. Get yourself a 6'2" blonde and put her on the team. That will get you the publicity you need. So
who voted for that award?
Actually, that was my award, so I upheld all the votes in that one. It was unanimous.
I see. I did not get my ballot.
Yeah, I kind of went ahead out on a limb and just it was a unanimous decision. But As we see the S boats, super stock boats, make their way over to the crane, they'll be pulled out. They're done racing for today, as we've seen with Nick's Custom Marine, your first place finisher there, the blue boat you see in the left of your screen.
This hour presented to you by Performance Boat Center. It's the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. We're back after this. The 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race is back at it here. Streaming live on KRMSradio.com, 935rocksthelake.com. Brought to you by First Mate and Aqua Logic Marine. Streaming the broadcast, audio and video as we're looking live. This is part 2 of our Super Cat race, Shane Sherman. We had part 1 earlier. That part of the race won by the WHM team, and therefore they are essentially awarded the inside track for the second heat.
That was my understanding as well. We didn't see the start, but what I'm looking at right now is Performance Boat Center on your inside, WHM on your outside as they make their, there we go, right there, there's the race. First and second, look how tight they're gonna get. There is not 10 feet between those. IMCON off to an excellent start. Third position for Tyler and Brett Miller. And I can't even see who's anywhere else in the roost, but the battle is for first. Performance Boat Center, US 1, WHM. Neck and neck. You couldn't put a boat in between the two if you had to. And IMCON, third position right there. Great start in the second heat of racing for those guys. But look at this. Look at that battle.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. There isn't really anything to say. Just watch. I mean, as you see the boat starting to hop, those throttle men in there are just finessing the trim button, trying to get everything they can. They don't want it to hop. They want it to be as close as possible to hopping as they can get it, because that means the maximum amount of air is under the boat, which means the maximum amount of speed. And WHM at the end of that straightaway, you know, very interesting to find out, did that prop switch play into effect for them? Because coming out of the turn, Performance Boat Center is a lot stronger than they were at the end of the last heat.
I agree,
but
no question.
At the end of the straightaway, WHM showed, right in the roost goes Myrick and Johnny as they come around the Bagnell Dam turn right there, and WHM opened up a rooster tail length lead on them at that point. Now let's see how wide Billy goes out. He goes out really wide with no reason on this one to protect his lane. So what he's doing there is setting himself up as he comes out of that turn. So he has figured out a line on there that he likes a lot, and if he doesn't have to protect his position, I'm sure we'll see him run that turn wide each lap.
Look at that shot, folks, from the property shop, our West Turn camera, getting a look at all of our Super Cats. Going around turn 2 and heading down our first straightaway here.
What a great shot. WHM out to a nice lead right now. IMCON Construction and Cleveland Construction battling back there for third place. That's the race on the course right now. IMCON, Tyler and Brett Miller in only their second race. Lake Ozark locals, all their family out there watching right now. They are in a neck-and-neck battle with veteran Bob Teague and Ed Smith in the Cleveland Construction boat. And as they come into our screen here, we're going to see how that plays out going down the North Shore. Looks like Cleveland's got about a boat length on them guys, but IMCON right there. This is the finishing order we've seen in the first heat. WHM, Performance Boat Center, Cleveland Construction, IMCON, and HP Mafia bringing up the Super Cat lineup here. And just a beautiful job coming through those turns for WHM. He knows how to run the boat. He knows how to turn the boat, and he does a great job of it. And not the position Performance Boat Center wanted to be a lap into this second heat of racing.
And I hope you've got your snack, folks, and your drink right by your side. There's no time to get up. This is bang, bang, boom, a quick race. 6 laps. We're getting ready to start lap number 2. WHM maintaining your lead. And now, getting some air here as we head towards start-finish.
He is really airing that boat out because I don't see anything on our course out there that would indicate any type of waves or anything. It'd be interested to know if they're getting a gust of wind or anything from the storms that we have around the area. But, Billy and Jay really putting a lot of air in the tunnel of that 40-foot skater as they're trying to stay out in front of Performance Boat Center, who's currently in second place right now in our second heat of racing.
Second heat of what totals to be 12 laps when you combine heat 1 and heat number 2. They are starting lap number 2 of this second heat right now as they head towards the Bagnell Dam and make their turns around turns 1 and 2.
Yep, there goes Performance Boat Center now running right in the line of WHM and actually a little inside of it, trying to shorten up that course as much as they can without scrubbing off any speed. So WHM, they're really running wide out of that turn, but see how quick he squares that boat back off? Now he's going to come in and close the door on them as they come into the dog leg. He can do that. He has the commanding position in the race. He can run whatever line he wants. Doesn't have to worry about any overtaking infractions right now because he is far enough out front. That's obviously the position everybody wants to be in. You don't want to have to fight your way around somebody else, which unfortunately is what Performance Boat Center is having to do right now to gain some distance and make up the distance on WHM, who's running out front. And I'm getting a report now from the dock that WHM is all over the rev limiter. What that means, these boats have a computerized chip in them that monitors the motor's RPMs. When they run out of propeller or when the propeller selection is too small, it'll hit the rev limiter. Just like your car, if you put it in neutral and hold the gas to the floor, it makes a noise. What that's telling me is that they're on the rev limiter. As this race unfolds, you should see Performance Boat Center catch up to them. So be interesting to see what happens, and it'd be nice to know how far down the straightaways they're hitting that rev limiter. My prediction, if they're over 3/4 of the way through the straightaway and they hit the rev limiter, they're still good to go. If they're only about halfway through the straightaway and they hit it, that's going to be a problem. That's going to let Performance Boat Center gain ground on them each lap. The question is going to be, does Performance Boat Center have enough time left in the race to make up that difference should that rev limiter come into effect for WHM?
There are your 3 lead dogs, if you will. And again, the top 2, WHM, and the defending champion of this race, Performance Boat Center. This has been your running order since the start, and they are maintaining that pace right now.
Yeah, I'd really like to get a replay of our start, because what I seen from our vantage point was that MCon just nailed the start. Them boys looked like they really got a great start, and be interesting to see the drop of the green flag, but that's irrelevant at this point. MCon back in 4th position, same position they finished in our first heat. WHM out to a comfortable lead right now. They're about, I'm going to say about 200 yards, probably 2 seconds ahead of the Performance Boat Center boat, and be interesting to see how the propeller selection plays out. If they've got enough propeller, because every lap they go around, they're burning off some fuel. The more fuel they burn off, the more important that propeller selection becomes, because the quicker they'll get on that rev limiter. But what a shot there. Look down the tunnel of that WHM boat. That is the shot. That is nothing but compressed air under that boat, and it is floating on a pillow of air, if you will. And that is why you see her kind of dancing around ever so eloquently, much like a ballerina. She just lied on her feet and doing everything she needs to do.
We're on lap number 3 right now. WHM maintaining their advantage over the Performance Boat Center as we speak right now. And Performance Boat Center maybe cutting into the lead just a little bit.
Absolutely. They are approaching the edge, the trailing edge of the Rooster Tail. A minute ago, they were about a Rooster Tail and a half behind. So they are making up ground right now. The question is, how much longer can they hold up Performance Boat Center? I mean, these boats are out there running, give or take 130 to 135 miles per hour. 1 or 2 miles per hour will make the difference easily. But how much real estate do they have left to make that up?
That's a big question, and one that has yet to be answered. But as they head towards start finish once again. The advantage that Performance Boat Center, or the disadvantage they face, continues to remain about the same, and the lead for WHM holding serve right now in our Super Cat race. This is our second heat. Performance Boat Center, the defending champion, but running in second right now, as they get set to begin lap number 4 of this 6-lap race.
I haven't seen the camera show us anything on Cleveland Construction or MCon and HP Mafia at this point. Obviously, the racing action's up front right now. Just going off of the prediction that the running order is the same as our last view. Well, there we go.
There's another Porky's and Night Moves cutie cam shot from out on the water.
She'll be all over social media tomorrow, not having a clue she's been on television today.
Again, it doesn't happen right away. Once they start to get a couple texts, a couple of notifications via Facebook or Twitter, then they realize that they're on TV, but it's too late.
Look at the different lines those two boats have taken. Performance Boat Center really tight coming off the pin. WHM really floating the boat out coming off of the pin. And, you can't argue with the line WHM is choosing because he's out front right now. But, Performance Boat Center doing anything they can to shorten up this 4+ mile course and chop off some of that lead that WHM has opened up to. And they're running out of time. They're going to have to do something quick, or it's going to be an all WHM day.
On the 4th lap, and as we revisit this first straightaway, WHM's lead has changed from a lap ago. It's a little deeper, a little longer over the Performance Boat Center boat as we head towards turn 3.
Yeah, that just shows you how crucial the turns are in this class. And again, with Billy Moff and Jay Mueller being out front, they can pick whatever line they want. Myrick Coyle and Johnny Tomlinson in the US 1 Performance Boat Center boat, again, they can pick whatever line they want, but they're trying to do everything they can to shorten up that course and make up some ground on Billy's. So while they may be going around the course a little tighter, Billy's way around the course is still a little faster.
On lap number 4, a lead for WHM. Lap number 5 getting ready to begin. The third member of our broadcast team is Brad Harrington. He's going to join us here in just a second from down on the docks as this Super Cat race rolls on. And a lead held by WHM starting the 5th lap.
Now I am
excuse me, Shane, we're going to go down to Brad right now. His report sponsored by Somerset Boatlifts. Hello, Brad.
Hey everybody, it's Brad Harrington again, and right now I'm with Rusty Rom from the Wake Effects boat. He's going to be coming up in the Extreme class. Everything good to go? Ready to go?
Everything's ready to roll. We tested yesterday. The boat's running phenomenal, so we should be all set to go.
Awesome. It looks like we got a little bit of weather coming through, but once that clears out, it won't affect you guys. You'll be underneath the canopy anyway.
Yeah, we'll just go faster. It gets rid of the rain off the windshield.
Yeah. Awesome. And you guys are here local and from up around Kansas City, Olathe area, but down here at the lake in the summer times. How's it like running in your home water?
It's always nice to be here at Lake of the Ozarks racing. It's obviously our home lake. We enjoy being here. Got a lot of friends and family here with us today, so we want to put on a good show for them.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you got a 5-boat fleet, as long as the American Ethanol boat can make the start, and then the other boat's having a little bit of trouble too, but hopefully you'll have 5 boats in that class.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's a pretty good turnout for our class, so we're starting on the pole, and we hope keep that inside lane. So
awesome. So you guys got the pole. That's good. Randy Kent is the other one that's changing out some plugs right now. He's having some motor trouble. So good luck today, and we'll be looking forward to it. Brad Harrington, I'm sending it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Brad. His report sponsored by Somerset Boatlifts. And again, that's our final race of the day coming up, the Extreme class. As we bring it back live here, take a look at the Property Shop West Turn camera. Again, a lead maintained by the WHM boat as we're on the 5th lap. Maybe Performance Boat Center, again, where we were on the first straightaway a few moments ago, maybe their lead compacted just a touch.
Yeah, it's
not
tough
by much, though. There's Cleveland Construction.
Tough to tell from that last shot that we just got, and as you said, Cleveland Construction going by. I got a report in that someone had missed a turn buoy, but I don't know which boat it was. So it'll be interesting to see how that folds out. Here comes IMCON, Tyler Miller, Brett Miller, 06 out of Wathena, Kansas. I believe they're comfortably running in 4th position right now. So, yeah, there's WHM in 1st, Performance in 2nd. That should be Cleveland Construction coming into turn 1 right now. And there's IMCON running in 4th. So, a repeat of what we've seen in our first heat of racing today if the checkered flag was to fall right now. Somebody having some trouble there. It's got to be HP Mafia down on the course. You can always tell by the rooster tail when it gets out of shape like that. That's generally a sign that only one motor is left running, and the rooster tail really gets tall and high. And yeah, HP Mafia having a problem again. Mechanical woes one more time for that boat. Going to end their day early as they pull to the infield. It doesn't look like there's any immediate safety issues. We'll wait to see that hatch pop open and make sure everybody in there is okay. But you see WHM go by, your leader in Supercat, followed closely by Performance Boat Center. Now that shot I just seen right there, they made up a lot of ground.
They sure did.
They gobbled up a lot of ground right there.
They sure did.
Well, that was the checkered flag. That's why, because Billy had slowed down and they were gaining. So that was it. As we see the checkered flag wave, unofficially from what we're seeing, WHM 1st, Performance Boat Center 2nd, Cleveland Construction 3rd, IMCON 4th, HP Mafia rounding out your field in last place.
What a race. We've got to step aside here. Look on the Woods Supermarket camera. It's the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. We're back after this. It is the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race this hour, presented to you by Performance Boat Center. As we bring you a PDQ Marine weather update, you can see the rain falling outside Beavers at the dam. You can also see sunshine and blue skies as well. The storms are isolated, and in fact, one just on top of us right now. Couple cells and a lot of cells off to our east and to our south. And we talked about this earlier, Shane, at the weather is moving in a different type of direction. Usually, weather moves from west to east. This is actually moving from southeast to northwest. Little different deal.
My optimism on that, Brendan, is bringing warmer climates.
I like your thinking. I'm
going to go with that as we look at the Performance Boat Center and the WHM Cleveland Construction, HP Mafia there, all the Supercats making their way back in from their final heat of the day. We don't have official results just yet, but from what we can tell here in our booth, WHM wire-to-wire leaders both heats of racing today, and Performance Boat Center 2nd place, 3rd place Cleveland Construction, 4th IMCON.
Let's go back and take a look at another great event here leading up to the lake race, and it's the Festival of Speed. And our coverage here is brought to you by Coral Reef Seafood. They offer the Midwest the highest quality and widest selection of fresh and frozen seafood in Osage Beach. Visit coralreefseafood.com. And again, another great family-friendly event, Shano, and a lot of vendors, just a lot of great fun, and the opportunity to see anything with the motor, anything that is fast. It's there at the Festival of Speed.
Absolutely. I have seen everything over there. Hot rod from Richard Rollins. I know some friends down in Florida are listening right now. John Woodruff, somebody had one of your bar stools out here with a 350 Chevy mounted underneath it. So I've seen a motorized bar stool. I've seen hot rods. I've seen cars. I've seen exotics. I've seen muscle cars, obviously boats. Just a great event. You can see the Assault Custom Chopper there. That chopper won a very prestigious award this year down at the Daytona Bike Week. So, we've got some nice hardware aside from the boats when Festival of Speed hits town.
Again, brought to you by Coral Reef Seafood. Give them a call here in Osage Beach, or hit them up at coralreefseafood.com or 348-4000. And just some awesome cars. Speed is the name of the game there at the Festival of Speed. And again, for those of you folks that aren't familiar, they're some of the pigs that were racing as well.
You talk about speed. It was amazing how fast that pizza got over here from Beavers when we requested that. That was quick, and that was some good pizza there.
We got to enjoy it during the commercial break. So,
Beavers
thanks.
at the dam, while you guys are taking a break out there from the racing action, run up there, get yourself a pizza. It comes out fast.
And I told you not to blink in that last race, because it was over in the snap of a finger, as we had our wire-to-wire winner again, unofficially. All of our race results, by the way, are unofficial until the OPA validates them at the end of the day.
Exactly, and over none too soon for Billy Moff and Jay Mueller, as they were losing their lead to Performance Boat Center as that race unfolded and came down to the final laps. So. But that's part of it. They picked the perfect setup today for the conditions and the environment that we were in, and they were able to hold off the competition in both heats of racing. And just, hats off to them. That's the name of the game.
Let's go down to the docks right now. His report sponsored by Somerset Boat Lifts. We say hello to Brad Harrington. Hello, Brad.
Hey, it's Brad Harrington. I'm down here on the dock. We're getting a little bit of rain right now, but we're talking with Jimmy with the Alex Anani Jeweler boat, and we appreciate that you guys made the trek down. I heard you guys had some truck troubles on the way in. How'd you get the boat here?
We did. We had a breakdown. However, we were able to rent a truck, and we made it here. A few hours late, but we made it.
Awesome. You gotta love a rental truck. So Herb's in the boat with you guys today, and you guys are in the extreme class, and you got everybody to sign the boat, and it kind of builds the local rapport, doesn't it?
Sure does. It's very engaging. The fans have a vested interest in my success and in my failure. It's great here. It's a great community. We really enjoyed ourselves. I can't wait to get back to Lotto.
Awesome. Well, we love having you here. The Jersey Mike's boat and the Alex Anani, we love you guys being here, and you're welcome back anytime. Back to you guys up in the booth. This is Brad Harrington.
Thank you, Brad. His report sponsored by Somerset Boat Lifts, lifting your dreams from canoes to cruisers. Visit somersetboatlifts.com. Locations in Osage Beach and in Camdenton as the rain continues to fall. Not on the entire course, and again, we've had isolated showers, thunder showers throughout the area. But one thing we have seen today, Shane, is that it is rapid fire racing. One race, and heck, we've seen races end and the next race start to make their way to the milling area almost immediately. We're not seeing that here, so I'm guessing we do have a held course at the moment.
Absolutely, and one thing that I've always, liked, or I shouldn't say liked, but it's been unique to Lake of the Ozarks. I did get a call. They said it's not raining on the far end of the course.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Look at this shot right here. You've got blue sky in that shot with some of the puffy clouds. But where we're sitting right here at Beavers, the rain is coming down.
I did just get a report in from Brett Miller, driver of the MCON boat. They threw a blade on one of their propellers. And then as I'm getting a beautiful report in now, I just got a screenshot of the Renfro family, Tiffany and Bo Renfro with John Woodruff, sitting on their sofa in Pompano Beach, watching us live at Lake Race 2017. So we are reaching all corners of the continental United States, and I know for a fact I have some friends right now watching over in the Mideast, so we're global. That's a beautiful thing, and hats off to all the production crew here, and great job. I just got another report in from Brett Miller. Last lap, they were on the last lap through a blade on the MCON boat, and to our knowledge, they did finish in fourth place, which that was the pecking order of both heats of racing. So unofficially, it should have WHM, Performance Boat Center, Cleveland Construction, MCON. That should be your finishing order for Super Cat. But don't get that confused with Extreme Cat, which is coming next. 180 mile an hour. That looks like our go sign right there. The things are clearing up, so that's great news right there.
That is very good news. Let's say, we just heard from Brad down on the docks. Brad has been everywhere today. Also been sweeping some of the area bars, and Brad is at it again. We say hello to Brad Harrington.
Hey everybody, we left the dock for a little bit and came up here on the strip. We're going to walk into Linda Lou's and check out everybody watching the races. Let's see it. Hey everybody, how's the races going? Linda Lou's up here on the strip. Everybody's watching, getting excited, watching everything go on. I think we're on the what? Second race?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And Brad was actually watching himself on the television there for just a second. Linda Lou's, one of the newest places to gather on the Bagnell Dam Strip, a new covered deck area with live entertainment and some great food and cold beverages. Linda Lou's Rock-A Meats right next to the White House.
See the weather clearing off on the course out there. Just previously, they showed the shot of the MCON boat making its way back into the crane area. And like I mentioned, they had threw a blade on one of the propellers. And for the folks out there listening, basically the propeller is the equivalency to the wheel on your car, and it has individual blades, just like an airplane propeller. And these propellers surface on the top of the water, so they're running half in the water, half out of the water at all times. And that is a massive amount of fatigue and stress on that metal. And sometimes it'll just what they call throw a blade, which literally means one of the blades broke in half and it flung it off. So
this hour presented to you by Performance Boat Center. It's the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. We're back after this. '17 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. This hour presented to you by Performance Boat Center. And you can see the rain coming down out there right now on any number of our cameras. A lot of shots from our property shop camera today. A small firm with big results for all your real estate needs. It's the property shop looking out on the Bagnell Dam Strip right now. And again, a lot of water in addition to the lake water, but a lot of blue skies too. So that tells you how isolated in nature these little cells are. The problem is they're not going to. The storm just kind of parks over one area and they don't move. So that's sort of where we're at right now with this particular storm. And again, you mentioned other parts of the course, nothing. And again, you're also streaming us on KRMSradio.com, 93.5 Rocks, thelake.com, First Mate Aqualogic Marine with sponsoring our streaming live on our two station websites.
just a little bit of track resurfacing going on right now. We'll get back to action here shortly, but the rain won't necessarily keep the race from going. As long as we don't have any lightning and the safety asset, which is the helicopter Angel One, as long as she can fly, they'll have racing. So the rain won't necessarily stop the race. Lightning definitely will, though.
We've also got a little raffle going on here for the 2017 Lake Race. A $10 raffle ticket gives you the chance at a 4-day, 3-night, all-inclusive trip for two to Cancun Riviera Maya. Round-trip air transportation out of St. Louis. The drawing will be held tomorrow at the Redhead Lakeside Grill. And your chance to jump into one of those opportunities to head down to Cancun. Ooh, look at that shot. Some of the clouds out there.
Yep. Great shot there as we just went away from the MCON and HP Mafia boats waiting their turn to be lifted out of the water. Going back to Cat Can Do American Ethanol Extreme Catamaran.
This is from earlier as we take a look at some of our elite roofing and siding instant replays. I get some questions, Shane, whether or not we'd see the Cat Can Do American Ethanol boat out there today.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything late in the day about positive or negative if they've got their problems resolved. So at the start of that extreme race, it'd be interesting to see if American Ethanol and Cat Can Do has made the stripe or not. Certainly hope so. Huge crowd favorite here. They've got a great following at Lake of the Ozarks. Keith Holmes, throttle man on that boat, has driven the Big Thunder Marine race boat numerous times to the lake for many years. So really hope those guys got worked out whatever issue they were having, and we'll get to see them a little bit later on in the extreme class, because it looks like our conditions are lessening and we're going to get back to racing in a little bit. It's not going to be within the next 5 minutes, but we're not far off from some extreme high-speed boat racing coming up here on Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, that's going to be our big race of the day, our final race of the day here from Beavers at the Dam. This is the volunteer party, and it's presented to you by Riverview Tech. And a lot of the volunteers that come out here have an opportunity to raise some of the money and raise money for all of the lake race charities. Happened on Tuesday night, Shane. And again, it's a whole roster of events that happened leading up to today's lake race, and this is just another one of them.
Absolutely. It, one of the novelties of the event that we don't have this year, he's prior obligations, Tim Siebold in his Formula One tunnel boat, not here this year. But as you mentioned, Brendan, it's not just a boat race on Saturday afternoon. It's, the Festival of Speed, the volunteer parties, the paddle battle. It's a week-long thing, and it's great for the lake because, like I've mentioned earlier, historically, the weekend following the holidays down here is a little slow for the community. And this is a vacation destination, a resort community. So any weekend we miss is crucial to the bottom line of these businesses. And any weekend that's normally slow that we can improve upon is great for those guys. So, Lake Race has really been a good shot in the arm for the economy of Lake of the Ozarks since its inception.
That's sponsored by Riverview Tech. Keep your computers healthy with Riverview Tech. Visit riverviewtech.net or call 573-289-7151 as we bring you another live look from outside Beavers at the dam. Again, a lot of blue sky breaking through some of the overcast and breaking through some of the rain clouds that have descended upon us here. And again, this gives you a really good indication as to some of the issues here with the rain, because we had race after OPA did such a tremendous job today of keeping the action moving, and this is the only thing that was really going to hold it up, Mother Nature, at this stage of the game. Let's go down to the docks once again. Standing by, it's Brad Harrington. His update sponsored by Somerset Boatless. Hello, Brad.
Hey everybody, it's Brad Harrington again. I'm here with Randy Sissom. He's racing with Bob Bull in the Extreme class coming up. And we got a little bit of a shower coming through, and they're getting ready to watch the Supercat race. But Randy, you guys ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll be good. We've got the Mercury 1750s along with Wake Effect, so it should be a good battle today.
Awesome. I know you guys used to travel as a team, so no wagering going on beforehand?
Nah, man, we're all buddies till we put our helmets on. Then the best man wins.
Awesome. Well, I know a couple of the other boats are having trouble right now. You do have a 5-boat fleet, but if the other ones can make it to the line or not.
Yeah, I heard somebody was having a little problem, but the other guys seem to be ready to go, so we're looking forward to it. It's always a really fast course here, so, the weather should pass here shortly, and we'll be racing.
Great. What kind of speed do you think you're going to see out there today?
Oh, I'm sure we'll be in the 180s at least.
Awesome. Well, keep it safe, and we're looking forward to it. Brad Harrington, we're back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Brad. His report sponsored by Somerset Boatlift with locations in Osage Beach and in Camdenton. Thank you very much, and we've had great dock reports all day long. By the way, this hour now of Lake Race is presented to you by Sunshine Daydream. Located on the Strip, they have something for everyone at Sunshine Daydream. And that picture right there, Shane, leads me to believe the rain is starting to clear out a little bit.
Absolutely. Beautiful shot there. That's from Beavers at the Dam, so that's great. And, our last interview, Randy Sissom, founder of MTI Powerboats, which we've seen all over the racetrack here today, both pleasure and race versions, multiple-time national world champion, international champion, European champion as well, and calls Lake of the Ozarks home. MTI manufactured just up the road in Wentzville, Missouri. They do the bulk of their testing here on Lake of the Ozarks. Their premier dealer is Wake Effects with Rusty Rahm. So just a tight-knit community with the MTI stuff down here at Lake of the Ozarks, and not to mention they're fast. They're bad fast. I mean, I think Randy was being a little conservative when he said 180s. I'd say that's going to tickle a little closer to 200 at the end of one of these straightaways, and be interesting to see who comes out at the end of that battle with Wake Effects and CMS, because the 1750, while it's still on the same platform as the 1550 and 1350 motor, it is a newer edition of it. So be curious to see how the attrition plays out, because this, again, like we mentioned earlier, they don't have to lift off of the throttle on this boat. The Extreme class will lift off a little bit coming into the turns because they are going that much faster, but as soon as the boat takes a set, it'll be on the dash and hang on for the next 4 miles, and they're going to have to do that 12 times.
We're bringing you some race results here live as it's brought to you by Sunshine Daydream, and we've had 6 races already this afternoon, Shane. 6 races already in the books. And again, one of those, the Super Cats, were broken into 2 heats. And there's the WHM win as they beat Performance Boat. Again, Performance Boat Center, Cleveland Construction, that was basically wire to wire with those top 3 teams in the Super Cat class.
Yeah, excellent racing out there today as we see the MCOM boat on our screen there, and Tyler, Brett Miller, Lake Locals, and great second showing for them. But WHM, the class of the field today in Super Cat, and to my knowledge, the first time Billy Moff has raced on Lake of the Ozarks, no stranger to offshore powerboat racing, been around for at least 20 plus years that I know of, and I'm sure longer. Great for them guys to come here for the first time and have this type of showing they had. I hope that's an indicator that we'll see them back here next year.
We're coming to you live inside the Dick Aki Construction broadcast booth. Visit builddocc.com for the premier builder and developer of commercial property in Jefferson City and Central Missouri. That is Dick Aki Construction, as we continue to look out on the water right now. And again, none of the big boats from what we can see starting to hit the milling area yet, but we anticipate them making their way out there shortly. Again, our broadcast window takes you up to 5 o'clock with all of our television and radio partners. So we're still with you, and again, still a good amount of time to get our final race of the day in.
Just got an update from Pete Bowden, ace photographer for SpeedOnTheWater.com. Billy Moff has indeed raced here at Lake of the Ozarks before when OSS was the sanctioning body, when the races used to be closer to the 7-mile marker. And, SpeedOnTheWater.com, probably one of the premier online assets to everything, race reports, happenings within the industry. You heard me mention earlier today the construction of the new race boats going on over at Performance Boat Center. SpeedOnTheWater.com, always on top of the latest happenings in the offshore world. So if you are a big fan, obviously a website you need to become familiar with, SpeedOnTheWater.com, as well as their Facebook page. It just keeps you up to date on everything. And not to mention, you'll see Pete's work displayed there first, and hands down, probably, in my opinion, the premier photographer in offshore right now. And great to have him here at Lake Ozarks, and interested to see some of his work as it filters its way back to online and social media after this race is over. Another great shot of the lake. Just a beautiful one.
We're going to take a look at the Lake Race 5K race that was held earlier this morning. Shane, I know you took part in it. There you are. You kind of broke out early, but
broke out for sure. I broke out to the restaurant, had some breakfast.
Exactly. I think it's like you kind of got caught up in it and thought that was the line of the buffet. But
yeah, exactly.
That's. And actually, you come in here looking much slimmer, so I should say that.
Well, thank you, sir. I was out in the desert for the last 6 weeks. I think it sweated a few pounds off of me.
This was all organized by Stephanie Klotzer, as we put on just a tremendous event early this morning. You can see the sun starting to come up prior to all of the weather moving in. It also gives you an indication. Look at all those trailers. Look at all those trucks. Look at all those boats that converge here to the Bagnell Dam Strip. But that opened up the day earlier, the Lake Race 5K. So congratulations to all of those participants that hit the racetrack earlier today. Another live look outside. Again, the clouds breaking up. A lot more blue sky starting to make their way in, and starting to see maybe the pace boats.
That's what you're seeing right there, exactly, Brendan. That's what you're seeing. He is coming in to give them notice, hey, time to go to your milling area. That's what the red flag indicates there. We've got our official starter for OPA, Ron Poley, on board the Cigarette. I'm 99% sure that's Charlie Haynes' new Cigarette, pair of 1350 Mercury motors in there. I've ran the boat myself. up around the 123 mile an hour mark. Very fast boat. Charlie got himself there, so we'll look for some big numbers out of him come shootout time. And provided his ace crew chief Ed Grimm gets a Snickers bar before race time, I think the boat could even be a little faster, because we all know Ed runs on Snickers. He's our chief technician down there at the shootout, and I know he's out there listening. So Ed, we'll make sure we got some Snickers bar for you come shootout time. And for those of you guys out there listening or watching, not familiar, the shootout is a race in its own, but it's a timed race. There is no, I shouldn't say there isn't any. Occasionally we have a heads-up race, but it's a race for charity that's held in late August, the weekend before Labor Day here on the lake. And it's been a flying mile the last 20 years. They've shortened the courses now to 3/4 of a mile due to the extreme speeds the boats are capable of. And I think that's a great call all the way around. I'm a huge fan of racing. When drag racing went from 1,320 feet to 1,000 feet, of course, everybody thought it was going to be the end of the world. It wasn't. The teams figured out how to redo their cars. The racing is just as exciting, if not more so now. And the same is going to hold true with the shootouts, because none of us wants to see any of our friends get out there and get hurt. And shortening that course down to 3/4 of a mile is not a detriment in any way. It's going to be exciting. And, if you like boating and you're from Missouri, make sure you make it down to the Lake Ozark Shootout, where we can hear in our background, I don't know if you guys can hear it online or not, the boats, but that was an indicator right there. Your pace boat just came into your extreme catamarans and let them know, hey boys, it's time to get going. So I'd say we're inside of 15 minutes before we see some 180 plus mile an hour speeds here on Lake Race.
And Shano, the fun does not end once the races end. Live entertainment here at Beavers tonight. Dick and the Mirror Balls, Donnie Larson will all be performing tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I forgot. So my great friends, the Ottens and the Wells, have a condo over at Lighthouse Point. I was staying with them while I'm in town. And lead singer Curtis of Disco Dick and the Mirror Balls also stays with us over there as well. And I've been listening to him for years. It is a great show. Come out tonight and listen to these guys at Beavers.
It's going to be a big one. A lot more still to come. The 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. Back after this. And welcome back inside the Dick Otke Construction broadcast booth. Brendan Matthews and Shane Sherman with you. The 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. And we've got one more big race to go, Shane. The Extreme Class will be out on the water here in just a little bit.
Absolutely. The big class. And I know I've gotten a few more text messages from around the country of people having watch parties, if you will. I just got one from Brett Schulman out of Orlando. I know the Renfros and Woodruffs are watching down in Pompano. Stay tuned, guys. Anybody out there listening, stay tuned. It is getting ready to get fast.
Big one is on the way.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, the horsepower. We got coming up on a replay now. Watch this move right here. This is as good as it gets. This is racing at its best.
That was Performance Boat Center and the WHM boat from our Super Cats, our Elite Roofing and Siding Instant Replay. Elite Roofing and Siding, it's important to know who's on your roof. Visit EliteRoofingAndSiding.com, and that was an awesome moment in another Elite Roofing and Siding replay.
Absolutely. It just, it gives you a great vantage point of how tight together these boats run. I mean, as a pleasure boat, you don't generally run within 50 or 100 yards of another boat. These guys are running within a couple feet of each other, and they're doing it at 130 plus miles per hour. And the boats you're getting ready to come see, they're going to be doing it at 170 plus miles per hour, probably 180 plus miles per hour. And if attrition is not a factor, they'll be doing it, for 12 laps out there at just ridiculous speeds. So if you're out there listening, waiting for the rain delay to get over, we appreciate your patience. We're getting ready to get underway. The Pace boat has came in and picked up the fleet, so they're heading to the milling area.
This is another Elite Roofing and Siding instant replay. And you saw just a little while ago those menacing clouds that brought us our delay that we're in right now. This is another Elite Roofing and Siding instant replay.
Showing Strictly Business, I believe, heading down towards their checkered flag. I know they won the class that day, so...
this is from our third race of the day.
Right. right. That actually was OPA President Ed Smith, I believe. We have two Ed Smiths here today for anybody listening. We have Ed Smith in the Cleveland construction boat, and we have Ed Smith who raced earlier in Strictly Business. No relation, both same name, Ed Smith. But just for anybody who's listening that may have been confused, as we see the class of the field right now idling out onto the track, the number 3, Bob Bull, Randy Sism, 52 MTI, 1,750 horsepower per side. Mercury Racing engines in that boat. That is the class of the field right now. But their main competition, their old boat, with world national champion driver and throttle man Rusty Rom Jeff Harris, I promise you, is not going to cut them guys any slack at all. And not sure what horsepower Rusty has in there right now, but it's plenty.
That's coming up in just a few minutes, our extreme class right now. We go back down to the docks. His report sponsored by Somerset Boat Lift. Brad Harrington with Mike Shepard.
Hey, it's Brad Harrington. We ran inside here to talk to Mike Shepard with Beavers on the Dam. It's been a wonderful event so far, and how do you think everything turned out?
I think it's going great. We've had a lot of compliments from the racers today. They love Lake of the Ozarks. They love coming to our venue because everything's so convenient for them. The water's good. Had a little bit of rain right now, but we're going good.
Yeah, everything I've heard from the racers, they absolutely love it. Love you guys. All the locals and everybody has done a wonderful job, and they're all looking forward to come back next year.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing. Our staff has been so on the ball this weekend, and everything has just gone very smooth. You know, this is our 5th year anniversary for Lake Race, and, you know, it just seems to get bigger and better every year, and, you know, we're very proud of it. We're proud of our title sponsor, Performance Boat Center. They really make it happen for us.
Awesome. So you're looking forward to next year already?
We are. Of course we are.
Awesome. Well, it's been a great event so far. We're going to throw it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Brad. His report sponsored by Somerset Boat Lift. And the point that Mike brought up that, you know, we haven't really hit on a lot today, Shane, and that is it is the 5th anniversary of this event. And OPA didn't jump in at the very beginning, but there's no question the partnership that Mike Shepard and OPA, Performance Boat Center, it's really turned into a great relationship, and it's helped this event grow exponentially every year.
Absolutely, it has. You know, in the infancy stages, the first year, you know, Alvin Heathman headed up the event, and it was just kind of a run what you brung type event. And then OPA came in and brought some structure to the thing, and we brought some different classes, plus all their boats. Let's not forget that. It just gets better every year. That's just it.
And I'm also, you know, I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that KRMS and Viper Communications spearheading the television broadcast. Give ourselves a little pat on the back as well for the television coverage that has expanded not just through Lake of the Ozarks, which is fantastic, but now we reach our friends in Columbia, Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri, in St. Louis. It has really grown, and it's not just about high speeds and the boats. It's showing off what is a tremendous recreational destination for folks, and that is Lake of the Ozarks. For maybe people that haven't been here in a while, the way this place has grown and just the way the Bagnell Dam Strip, we're not even showing the rest of the Lake of the Ozarks and its enormity, you know, sort of concentrating just on the Bagnell Dam Strip. But that tells you the growth this place has had over just the last few years. It is certainly a microcosm as to how the rest of the lake is really booming right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the traffic on Memorial Day weekend, you know, was always good. But it just, I don't know where all these people came from last weekend. I've never seen so many people out at the bars and restaurants on Lake of the Ozarks. And
that was last weekend with all the rain.
Yeah.
With all the storms.
With not favorable conditions at all. So, Lake of the Ozarks, got to come.
Number 1 recreational lake is voted upon by USA Today. It is the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. We're back after this. It's the Performance Boats Center 2017 Lake Race, streaming live on KRMSradio.com, 93.5 RocksTheLake.com, brought to you by First Mate and Aqualogic Marine. our extreme class on the water right now. Boy, we're going to take you right up to 5 o'clock, Shane, and this final race of the day, 12 laps. I think we'll be able to fit it in for everybody watching us all throughout the state and all around the world, really.
Absolutely, yeah. I just got another call. The Team Gone Again guys are down in Texas watching this, and like you said, around the world. But I did see in this shot, Cat Can Do is out there.
That is some very good news. Our final bar sweep of the day. Brad Harrington takes us to Blondies. Hello, Brad.
Hey, everybody. Dock to the block. We're up here on the dam, and we're here at Blondies, checking out the crowd, listening to the race, and watching the race. Fun crowd up here.
Thank you, Brad. That's at Blondie's Burger Bar here on the Strip as we're back live, taking a look at all of these boats. And again, you confirmed it here, the breaking news a second ago, Shane Sherman, that the Cat Can Do, the American Ethanol boat on the water, along with the CMS boat, which is our defending lake race champion.
Yep, absolutely. I seen the Marine Concepts Speed Racer boat idle away from the dock. I don't see them on the parade lap. My guess is if they think they may have any issues at all, they may have foregone the parade lap, just wait to go join the milling area. But as you're looking, you can see Cat Can Do on the outside there. Obviously a very unique boat. It's the only boat in the field with a canopy on both sides in each sponson. Basically, because it's an older boat, that's the way it was done back then. Since then, everything's moved to the center of the boats, as you'll see on the Wake Effects boat and the number 3 CMS boat, and Alex and Ani that's out there as well. They're all center canopy boats. But when Cat Can Do is up and rolling, she offers one of the prettiest shots in offshore because the tunnel on that boat is so wide. It gives you a beautiful shot as they shoot down the tunnel of that boat. So it looks like all of our boats have made the call for the milling area. I'm not seeing the Marine Concepts boat at this moment, the Speed Racer boat. However, I did see them pull away from the dock, so I'm not sure if they're waiting in the milling area. Actually, I do. I see them in sight right now. They are over by the milling area, and they are under power, so it looks like they're going to make the start as well. So whatever issue they had, they've gotten worked out, same as Cat Can Do American Ethanol. You know, another boat we haven't talked about much is the Alex and Ani boat with Jimmy Kazani and Herb Stotler in it. Monster horsepower in that boat.
This is the extreme class. We talked a lot about the breakout speeds in classes 3, 4, 5. No breakouts.
There is no breakout here.
Why they call it extreme?
It is run what you brung.
You better believe it.
Brung enough.
You better believe it. We heard
for,
earlier, you know, speeds 170, 180 on those straightaways. Shane, they're absolutely in play.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, run what you brung and hope you brung enough. You better have brought anything that exists to this race because the fastest boats in the world are right here in front of you on this screen. And we're not wasting any time. I don't even think they got off plane to get into the milling area. We are under yellow flag right now, waiting for everybody to line up, and we are going to be underway, and it is going to be a massive amount of horsepower coming at us. As soon as these boats get lined up, we are still under a yellow flag. I'd say in the next 10 seconds, we're going to have a start. So watch the rooster tails. They will climb, and then as they start to fall, the speeds will climb. And looks like we are underway right now. Look at the rooster tails. Yep, we have a green flag. And on your Cat Can Do, and Alex and Ani almost touched right there. Wow. And out in front with Cat Can Do and CMS neck and neck inside Wake Effects. This is going to be an interesting turn. Wake Effects has the line going to the pin. That is the old CMS boat. So, and they are, wow, they are pulling up on CMS right now. Look at this. Top 3 boats, 180 miles an hour right now, coming down into turn 1. Wake Effects with the inside line. That boat is a rudder shaft boat. It can turn hard. The other 2 boats are stern drive boats. They can't turn as hard as the Wake Effects boat. We're going to see how they come out of this turn right now. Look at that. Look at Rusty Rahm throw that boat around that turn like a go-kart.
And Shane, don't forget Cat Can Do is also a previous winner in this race.
Holy I'm in awe at what Wake Effects just did. I mean, he turned that boat like a Formula One tunnel hull. I have never seen an offshore boat turn like that. Look at these guys come. Wow. Look, there comes Cat Can Do. Clearly, she's going to make her way to the inside. The Wake Effects and CMS are fighting for position. They are shoving each other all over this course. Cat Can Do to the inside, and look at her skating around back there. Hence the name Skater Powerboats. 2 MTIs out front right now, but Wake Effects showing them around the Lake Ozark course as we look from our vantage point. Wake Effects 17 out front, and the way he turned that boat, it's no wonder. He keeps that up. They're not going to touch him today.
Unbelievable. Wake Effects out to the lead right now, and this race is underway. Wow.
You know,
what a start.
Randy said they were all friends till the helmets went on. I assure you all the helmets are on there because that was a move. That was something else. As we see Wake Effects leading their way around the Bagnell Dam turn right now, brought to us by Woods Supermarket. Here comes Wake Effects. CMS not even in the picture right now. There they come. They're a good rooster tail back, but don't let that fool you. You've got Bob Bull and Randy Sism inside that CMS boat. Tons of experience in there. Tons of fast experience in there. And right now, they have the inside line. Rusty just barely unable to cross over into their path based on overtake rules that we have in offshore and mostly gentlemanly racing. It would be a very bad thing to do now. But he just closed the door on him. As you can see him back there in the rooster a little bit. He's got enough room. He can come over on him now, and he can control the line and dominate the race.
Wake Effects out in front right now, going down our first straightaway, heading towards turn number 3.
Wow. I mean, them guys are moving, attrition, of course, always a factor when you talk about extreme cat racing or any extreme racing for that matter. But right now, Wake Effects showing CMS the transom of that 48-foot MTI, which is not a bad view for Randy Sism because he built both of them. Either way, he wins. So as long as Randy's got a couple MTIs out front, I'm sure he's happy. And but right now, the student is showing the teacher around the track here in Lake of the Ozarks.
Look at those two.
Wow.
And the Cat Can Do right now, American Ethanol running third. A 12-lap race that is really just underway here.
This is the shot. Look at this shot. I mean, look down the tunnel of those boats. What a vantage point. What a vantage point.
CMS, Wake Effects in that first group. The Cat Can Do boat not far behind.
Not at all. When you see the Wake Effects boat there bobbling a little bit left to right, that's not from rough water. What that is caused by is there is so much air under that boat, it's literally trying to lift the entire thing off of the water at the transom, not at the front, at the transom. And the propellers are just begging for traction at that point because there's so much air into the boat, it's lifting it out of the thing. I just got a report in that Randy Kent, Speed Racer boat, is pulled into the infield. Problems been plaguing that boat. Wow, look at Bob Bull square
trying to get the inside
turn.
track.
Absolutely he is. And back Marine Concepts into the infield. I'm sure everybody's okay. We haven't got any reports to indicate otherwise. He's been fighting mechanical gremlins all day, so Speed Racer out. But right now the talk of the show is Wake Effects, number 17, 48 MTI, Mercury Racing Power, showing Randy Sism and Bob Bull the transom of that gorgeous MTI.
The 2 MTIs and the American Ethanol boat. Now, a little bit more of a gap than we've seen here as we hit the first straightaway once again.
You know, and I can promise you, if Randy was holding back a little bit, and
here comes the Alex and Ani boat.
Yep, they're coming into plagued with mechanical issue, I'm sure.
So 2 boats fall here, Alex and Ani and the Speed Racer boat. That leaves us with 3, but the 3 favorites we probably had pegged at the start.
Absolutely. Wake Effects, CMS, and American Ethanol, Cat Can Do. And, you know, American Ethanol stepped up in a huge way for powerboat racing. They sponsor the Cat Can Do boat all season long. They also are the prime sponsor down the side of Don Onken's Lightning Racing 50 Mystic that, you know, multiple shootout victories in excess of 200 miles per hour. And, great job to the American Ethanol guys for putting their efforts in and basically their finances behind our sport, and gives us all something great to watch out here as you get the vantage point there. They're so different in that vantage point because these 2 guys are fighting for position. They're trying to make that boat as wide as possible. Cat Can Do in the background, he's just going for the most efficient line possible to try to catch up to these guys.
Here comes CMS trying to make a pass
Yep, Wake Effects is making that course as long as
Yeah, he
possible
sure is.
for CMS, and he's got enough room. He can close the door on him. We'll see what happens as they come into the pin. He's well within his racing, grounds to hug that pin, and he gave some room there. He could have held it a little tighter, but he didn't. He gave some room, and CMS coming around there. But, Rusty running a conservative, but, whoa, look out there in the rooster tail. He's in the roost. Bob Bull goes wide. Randy Sisson, Bob Bull caught up in that rooster tail. Rusty and Jeff still showing them around that track a little bit. And, I think Bob's squaring off. Now watch this. He'll square this boat off, and it will be a drag race to the pin. We're about to see some speed right here. As the CMS boat burns off a little bit of the fuel, obviously, the longer straightaway they can get, the more speed they can build, and they're looking for a big number to run down to that pin right now. And the question will be can they carry that speed through the turn?
Here we go. Don't forget, this hour is brought to you by Sunshine Daydream, and we're bringing you a dandy to close out our day of racing here at the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. And there you go, Shane. Showing off those speeds.
As we just heard in our headsets, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it out there where you're listening from, but did you hear those turbos screaming when they came past the start-finish boat? That was not a helicopter, folks. That was the turbos inside of those hatches of those MTIs on those Mercury engines just screaming. And to answer the question before we went to break, CMS did not make it, but they are making up ground. So Rusty and Jeff, they are definitely driving in their mirrors right now. Right now for sure, because Bob, oh no.
Oh, this is not good.
No. Okay, whatever happened, they just figured out. But Rusty and Jeff fell off the pace a bunch.
Quite a bit.
Whatever they boy, it doesn't look good right this second. We're going to see a little drag race now. Yeah, here comes Bob and Randy. But something came on that last turn, and boy, she slowed down a ton. Now, these motors are all electronically controlled. They have what they call Guardian mode in them. I'm going to go out on a limb and bet he's turning that boat so hard it's spiking the water pressure and putting that boat into Guardian mode, which basically means they have to bring the throttles all the way back to 0, shut the motors off, turn them back on to reset it, and that'll cost them a ton of time right there. But yeah, something serious just happened to Wake Effects because CMS just pulled away from them without any effort at all.
CMS taking over the lead, the defending champion in this lake race event and opening up a lead, but Wake Effects doing all they can to hang in there. Maybe things just got a little more interesting. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out.
Absolutely, and we've got Cat Can Do back there.
And I'm not sure if we didn't see the Alex and Ani boat not pull back out onto the course. I thought I saw them on the other side here a second ago. We'll wait and see. But right now we definitely have 3 boats, and maybe the door of opportunity is open for the Cat Can Do American Ethanol boat.
Yep, absolutely. Right now CMS out to a huge lead right now. Be interesting to hear, afterwards what indeed happened to Wake Effects. But boy, they had one heck of a start to lake race here. That was an impressive run right there.
An incredible start as they make their way around turn number 3, heading towards turn number 4. CMS and Wake Effects still your 1 and 2. Here comes Cat Can Do.
Yeah, Bob Bull, Randy Sisson running out front right now in Extreme Cat here at Lake Race 2017. MTI powerboat 52-footer, Mercury Racing engines under the hatch. Same as your second place boat, Wake Effects 48-foot MTI, Mercury Racing engines under the hatch. And your third place boat, Cat Can Do American Ethanol. She's a skater power boat with some Sterling horsepower underneath her hatch. But right now the MTIs and Mercuries are dominating the extreme class here at Lake Race.
What a run. What an early one. There's the Alex and Ani boat, as I alluded to. It is back out on course.
Yep, that's great. So, I guess in both a good and a negative manner, so much of today's racing engines have electronic governors on them, if you will, guardian mode or overheat or over rev limiters, whatever the case may be. It saves the motor from a total meltdown, which is $140,000 or $50,000 repair, but it also takes you out of commission for that respective race. And nobody ever wants to lose a race they started, but they sure don't want to lose it $150,000 in the hole because they melted down an engine when the computer could save them and cost them a $20 or $30 part.
And we should also mention the points that are available for the OPA season, for the national championship, and then for eventually the Worlds that will bring you back to Inglewood, Florida in November. Here's a look at the CMS boat. Bob Bull, Randy Sism, the defending champions in this event.
Multiple times, I believe. They've won Lake Race more than once.
That they have. Cat Can Do, a previous winner. This particular event littered with previous champions here at Lake Race.
Yeah, Randy Sism, no stranger to Lake of the Ozarks. I remember taking a boat ride with him back in the late 80s, maybe early 90s down here. I was probably about 2 at the time. And so no stranger to Lake of the Ozarks. And we've got American Ethanol in second place right now. So Wake Effects is definitely way off the pace right now. Yep, there we go. We're seeing it right now. American Ethanol just moved into second place. So
that's a big jump.
What a great turn of events for them. They went from not being able to get the boat fired up earlier today to sitting in second place.
And I know Cat Can Do has won this race before due to attrition. It
absolutely
just hangs around. It has experience here at Lake Race, and it's showing its experience right now. You feel bad for the Wake Effects team running out to a big lead, but certainly falling back right now. They've got work to do. We continue with our extreme class race when we come back. The 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. More after this. The 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. A look at the Property Shop Western camera. And we've got boats dropping like flies right now, Shane.
Unbelievable turn of events during our break. CMS has went down. From my account, Cat Can Do American Ethanol is your leader. Alex and Ani has fixed whatever is wrong. They're back on the course under full steam right now. So I'd say within a lap or so, that's going to put them in second place. Anxious to see what's going to happen. You see right here the number 3 boat CMS going down. I seen from my vantage point the crew running on the docks with fenders and lines en route to the crane. The hatch came up quick. Generally in the past, I'm going to estimate they're taking on water, and they're taking on water quickly. That's why they're trying to make way over to the crane. But be interested to hear from somebody on the CMS crew, what's going on in there. I'm sure both guys are okay. Obviously, there's no indication that nobody is injured in any way. But what a change of events. The Cat Can Do out front. There's CMS coming into the crane right now. She doesn't appear to be taking on any massive amounts of water, but they sure didn't waste any time getting to the crane. Bob Bull up and out of the cockpit. Randy's still in there maneuvering the boat into the crane. So I'm sure both of those guys are perfectly fine. Wake Effects is pulled into the infield. Cat Can Do is on the course, but boy, she is not happy. Let's just put it that way. She is she's struggling out there right now, but she's also got a commanding lead at this point. So now all she has to do is finish. At this point, all American Ethanol has to do is finish, because Alex and Ani was down for a couple laps.
It's at least a lap behind American Ethanol, maybe 2.
Exactly. So if Cat Can Do can hang on in that American Ethanol, they'll come away your champions in extreme class here.
A second championship maybe in the offing for the Cat Can Do boat, the American Ethanol boat.
That boat's like Rocky Balboa, man.
Wow.
It just keeps coming back for more.
And it's been
it's victorious.
Wow. And just watching the start that the Wake Effects boat got off to, and then for it to fall, and it hung around. It's now come off. Then to watch CMS take the lead. It's the defending champion. It has critical issues, comes off the course.
Quickly. Very
Alex
quickly.
and Ani already off and on the course. This is the Cat Can Do's race to win at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunate, whatever, I'm sure it was some type of an electrical gremlin that plagued Alex and Annie early. Had it not been for that, they'd be well out in front at this point.
So just from what we've seen with Team CMS, with Team Wake Effects, all of the issues that you think are plaguing them at this stage of the game, what do you think the issues all entail at this point?
Oh, I think they put the motors on kill. I mean, they came armed for bear today, both of those guys, and that's just part of it. You know, as we mentioned earlier, smooth water racing is tough because you don't ever let off. I mean, you don't ever let off. And then when you get going that fast, as I mentioned earlier, there's so much of the boat in the air, you start to create water pressure issues. You know, going through the turn that fast creates a water pressure issue too much. And down the straightaway, you know, you're turning into an airplane, so you have no water pressure. So I'm going to go with a water pressure or overheat issue. But you can bet if those guys each had 1750 Mercuries in them boats, they were probably making close to 2,000 horsepower. They had them set on kill.
I guess the only disappointing part now, if you're watching this, you're looking for some big speeds. If you're American Ethanol Cat Can Do at this stage of the game, Shane, you're really not looking to post.
You are not looking for anything at all other than a checkered flag at this point, and he's in the spot to get it done right now. So he's just hoping she holds together, and they can finish out there in first. And one thing we haven't mentioned today, our troops. I just got a text from some guys out at Shaw Air Force Base, all sitting around watching Lake Race live out there. So appreciate you guys watching, and
thanks,
we really
fellas.
appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, ladies, for all you do.
And there she is. I mean, that's just a classic old school muscle boat.
There it
aired
is,
out
yeah.
perfectly. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. Yeah, I can tell by the sound of the engine they're not leaning on it hard at all right now. Like I said, they've got a comfortable, a good lap and a half lead over Alex and Annie. And Alex and Annie is playing that same card, if you will, as well. They're hoping Cat Can Do will break. They're not running the boat to the extreme right now, because if they break, they're obviously out. But if Cat Can Do breaks, all they got to do is ride around the track one more time, and they win. So the racing, in a sense, at this point is really over. It's became a chess game. And right now, it's just let's get on to the finish. We've got about, I believe, 4 laps left, if my count is correct. And so they got about 16 more miles to hang on there. Yep. And we'll see Cat Can Do and, Cat Can Do, American Ethanol, Keith Holmes and Jamie Sarton in there take away at least their second Lake Race victory.
Correct. This is an opportunity to get them on the list as multiple-time winners at the Performance Boat Center Lake Race. And again, points on the national scene for OPA. And their season that continues past this week. Again, the season had already started. We were already an event into the year, and it could have very well been 3. Wow. Yeah. So incredible stuff.
Yep, that's great. That's great. So Cat Can Do making their way back through the Bagnell Dam turn up there. And like we have just mentioned, they are in a chess match right now. They are
against themselves, really.
Yes. Well, namely against themselves first, but they can't slow down too much, because if Alex and Annie catches up to them, then it becomes a race again. But if they run too hard and they take themselves out of the race, you hate to lose to another guy, but you really hate to lose to yourself.
So being told that the Wake Effects boat was taking on water, the Boat USA is getting towed out of here as we speak. So again, a lot of issues, a lot of attrition on this race, as well as you expect. a race like this with 12 laps, the race we saw earlier with 10 laps, a lot to finish, a lot to complete before you can call yourself champions. And again, not just about the speed, but the show wake, not to be outdone, the show wake effects put on the first couple of laps here, Shane, should not be forgotten. It should not be understated either.
No, it'd be interesting to see which, why they're taking on water. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's something to do with the water pickup either getting ripped off or a hose blown out, because the amount of pressure that had to jump into that system through turn one was, I've never seen anybody turn a race boat that hard that fast.
Right.
In an offshore race. I mean, the Formula One boats and the hydros, they do it all the time. But, I mean, I go on a limb and say Rusty was going through his mind of don't let off the throttle. I'm just going to turn it. And that's what they did, and it was impressive to watch.
And they're getting it out.
That's a CMS boat that they're pulling out, and they are spinning it around to take a look at the transom. You see all the crew members there right on the transom of the boat. So definitely an issue back there. So now another thing that we haven't really touched on, we've had a lot of flooding in the area recently. Could have very easily hit a piece of debris. It doesn't take much. A piece of wood the size of your fist at 180 miles an hour, when you hit the bottom of the boat, it'll knock a hole in it.
It's a great point.
It only needs a little bitty hole the size of, say, a dime, and then after a half a lap, it'll open itself up like a can opener and take on a bunch of water. But the water, as we can see there, a big stream of water running out the back of that boat. So she's got a lot of water inside of her, but I would say that's what inspired the raising of that canopy lid so fast, was they were getting wet behinds inside that cockpit.
Looks like the cat, is it not pulling back a little bit there? And again, we know they don't need to burn the big speeds out there, but just something to watch as they still have a few laps to complete.
Just got a text message from Randy Sism, throttleman in the number 3 boat. They blew a hose and filled the boat up with water. So just to give you guys an idea, the hoses, the intake hoses on these boats are 1.5-2 inch hoses, and at 170 miles an hour, that'll fill up let's put it this way. It'd fill your bathtub up in about 3 to 5 seconds. So that's how much water they were throwing inside of that boat. And the water literally was just going straight from the pickup into the boat. The hose blew off. That is inducive of fast speeds. I mean, anything mechanical has a limitation, and you're trying to hold a hose onto a fitting, and it's got an amount of pressure coming to it that is just unmeasurable. That was the issue that plagued CMS.
The Alex and Ani boat hanging in there as well, but they are trailing Cat Can Do, American Ethanol. We step aside our final break of the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. We're back after this. Back live from Beavers at the Dam, the 2017 Performance Boat Center Lake Race. Brendan Matthews, Shane Sherman with you as the final few moments of Lake Race come your way, and our television partners leave us at the top of the hour. If the race is still ongoing, it will continue at krmsradio.com, 935rocksthelake.com. Just click on the Lake Race banner.
So we've got 2 boats left on the course right now. American Ethanol, Cat Can Do, and Alex and Annie running first and second. And barring American Ethanol not having any mechanical issues, they will be your Lake Race Extreme champion this year. And it's looking good at this point as we're coming into the final stages of the race. So I believe they just started their last lap.
Here we go. This is it, and the opportunity for the Cat Can Do boat to finish. And I believe we will be able to bring you these final few seconds of the race here. And what a day it has been, and what a this will be fun here for this particular boat, Shane, to hit this straightaway.
Absolutely.
And hit the final straightaway. They're not showing off here, not doing anything that would jeopardize the championship, as we knew would be the case. But it was hitting some big speeds early.
Absolutely, yeah. The boat's wicked fast. I mean, I know for a fact it'll run north of 180 miles per hour, and as well as all the other boats.
It will be back for the shootout. It will be back for the shootout.
Absolutely.
In August.
So it was great to hear from Randy Sism in the CMS boat. Noticed there was nothing major in there, just blew a hose off. So always nice to know that.
Really not risking it right now. I mean, we knew it was backing off earlier, but it's
he's taking it
really not
right
taking
now.
any chances.
Now, I didn't see there. Did they give him the checkered flag right there? That should have been his checkered flag. Unless they give it to him on the other side of the lap.
On the other side, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so too.
At the start finish.
I've been making that mistake all day long. The Blue Water is a little closer to the North Shore this year than it normally has been, and I keep thinking that is our start-finish side of the lake, and it's just not. But wow, listen to that horsepower in the headsets there. That's just good old raw horsepower. Is Alex and Annie back up and running? Great showing for that boat.
They should finish this race and get a second place.
Absolutely.
In the Extreme.
Yep, absolutely. Great showing for them. Little issue in the beginning that caused a problem. Who knows what that was, but they were able to get it figured out, get back on plane and out there and finish up the race. And as we see Cat Can Do going away from us, there's Alex and Annie. She is moving. I mean, that boat's, it's a fast boat. It's actually the smallest boat in the field, and it's got a ton of horsepower in it. So, doing a really, really good job.
We say goodbye for now from Lake Race 2017.
It looks like Cat Can Do is on one motor.
I was just going to say, they backed off big time. And this is not Alex and Annie passing them.
Oh, yeah.
But they're a couple laps behind.
Yeah, at least one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're passing them
I just don't,
in one sense, just not in
the overall race standing order, correct.
This should be the checkered flag for American Ethanol Cat Can Do. As we bring you bonus coverage on KRMSradio.com, 93.5 RocksTheLake.com.
But he's got to make his way all the way back around to the start-finish, which if my calculations are correct, if Alex and Andy can make it around there again, then all of a sudden it's going to change things.
You're right. He's coming up on start-finish right here, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty much it.
Yeah, I know. I've been to several races, and that's it. The lead boat's just limping, and here comes 3 laps to go, and he's 2 laps down, and he's passed him twice, and just running him down to the finish. And boy, that'd be a heck of a way to end up Lake Race. But it looks like Cat Can Do came off plane at his own will.
Yep, that is a winner for American Ethanol Cat Can Do, your 2017 Lake Race Extreme Class champion. Alex and Ani, all they need to do is finish for that second place, the runner-up finish for a boat that looked like for a boat that came off the course, Shane. A boat that came off the course. We thought they were, DOA, but battled back. They'll find themselves officially in the standings when it's all said and done.
Did a phenomenal job. Great job to Serafino and Herb inside of the Alex and Annie boat. Did a great job getting her back on course, as we see Rusty and Jeff getting towed in there by Captain Dave and Towboat US in the Wake Effects 48 MTI. Have not heard an exact issue with them on what happened, but at the speeds they were going and the way they were turning, I've got to think a water pressure or hose issue is the same thing that plagued them as well. But as we see Cat Can Do making her way back into Beavers at the Dam, that should be your Extreme Class winner in Lake Race 2017. Second-time winner here for Lake Race.
Second-time winner for the Cat Can Do American Ethanol. Shame for Wake Effects, and they could not maintain their pace as they had to come off course along with CMS. Shane, a pleasure again, sir.
Always a pleasure, but they didn't finish, but boy, what an exciting race it was for the first 3 laps.
It sure was.
That was something else.
A tremendous start. We had a lot of great highlights from today. And, of course, this is archived on the KRMS Viper Communications YouTube page. You can go back and see this broadcast in its entirety, which is a good 6-hour broadcast from today. And we are back coming up in August for the 2017 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, as the summer is underway in mid-Missouri, underway at the lake. #1 recreational lake in America.
Absolutely, and great place to call home. So, American Ethanol racking up quite a track record here on Lake of the Ozarks. That's, let's see, that's a shootout Top Gun. That is a lake race champion. And I believe it's 2 shootout Top Guns here on the lake. Yeah, 2 shootout Top Guns for American Ethanol, and won a lake race extreme title. So American Ethanol doing real well here at Lake of the Ozarks.
So that'll just about wrap us up here in our 2017 lake race coverage, as you take a look at our winner, the American Ethanol Cat Can Do. Quite a finish, and another winner. We say goodbye for all of our staff, all the behind-the-scenes folks. We'll see you next year from Beavers at the Dam.